My authenticity was called out of the pulsating throbs of my bruised vagina. There are moments of transformation that mark our lives and alter the way that we show up in the world. Time is then forever divided into two parts, the time before the moment and the time after. I remember it was a beautiful, hot day. The sky was without blemish, not a cloud in sight. Reggae music exploded out of speakers that lined the street. Loud conversation and laughter permeated throughout. Indeed, it was a festive spot. And if anyone had just happened upon the scene, they would not have realized that anything out of the ordinary had just happened. After all, my felled and broken figure was not enough to mar the festivities. In the time before, I am a 26-year-old velvet rose, full lips, bright eyes, and what better garment for a rose than a red, silky sundress that hugged, lifted, and separated in all the right places. And so, with rum punch in hand, sultry beats pulsating through my body, my typical hypervigilance had subsided into a nice, easy gaze, until my eyes connected with another pair nearby. I observed a man watching me, and I witnessed a momentary flicker of interest that then devolved into disgust and morphed into anger. And not for the first time, I wondered at my ability to elicit such strong emotion by my mere presence. But then again, I very well knew that the 5 o'clock shadow and razor bumps that adorned my face and neck broadcast the narrative through which I was daily viewed and reviewed. Hirsutism is what it's called. The excessive facial hair on women with polycystic ovary syndrome, and I had been shaving since the age of 18. When your appearance becomes your identity, it's a heavy weight to carry. I struggled for years to negotiate sanctuary, just a small place to be in the world. But my social precarity and the stigma that accompanied it seemed fixed. It, some called me, so casual with their brutality that it made it difficult for me to truly feel the confidence that I professed. So when that man took steps in my direction, I thought I knew what to expect, the usual verbal venom. But when he reached me, his hand stretched out, and my screams rang out as I felt his nails dig deep into my private spot, his fingers twisting, his palms squeezing with all the force that he could muster before he released me. And although that assault took seconds, it collapsed my whole body. And then he delivered the typical daggers into my hunched over back. Batty boy, faggot, and then walked away. I can still hear the animal-sounding grunts that pushed through my clenched teeth, still feel the ghost of tears that refused to be contained behind my lids. And the music played on. Everything stayed unchanged, except for me. Each pulsating throb between my legs demanded different. I finally realized that I didn't have to ask for acceptance. It was already mine. But it had to emanate from deep within and then ooze out of every pore and orifice, not just my mouth. In the time after, I pulled myself up through the hurt and arose in full alignment with my being. And amidst a gauntlet of unsympathetic eyes, I smoothed my dress, I elevated the tilt of my chin, and I danced, planting my presence all the more firmly. I danced, unwounded. I danced in celebration of me as myself. And as I continued to move, one by one, others joined with me. And that moment transformed me from a seeker of belonging to its creator. There is nothing more powerful than when we dare to accept ourselves as we are, because it holds the space for others to do the same. Now that's inclusion.